So continuing again, right? We want to make sure that we are eating a good breakfast. So oatmeal and protein, with healthy fat, ideally. So something like salmon, ideally. And then we want to have exercise, right? That's going to improve our concentration. That's going to put us in a better mood. That's going to make us more relaxed. Like walking, basketball, yoga, running, lifting weights, stretching, even during the breaks during the SAT, it's good to stretch, take a walk, use the restroom, right? Always use the breaks to the max. So in terms of a recommended study plan, battle plan, syllabus, so really it's all about understanding your weaknesses and then focusing on those and timing your performance over and over again. So, right, number one, we're going to have a diagnosis, have time, practice SAT, right? So, you don't want to blindly guess on the practice test, right? We want to make sure that the questions we get right are questions that we understand fully, right? The material that we really know, and the ones that we leave blank and get wrong, we focus on those, right? So, like, say if you guessed and you got a quarter of the ones you guessed on correct, then there's that quarter of answers you didn't really understand, but you guessed them correct, so you would neglect that. So you really do not want to do that on a practice, because it's all about identifying your weaknesses, finding as many weaknesses as possible, of course trying your best, and then finding as many weaknesses as possible, and then correcting that. So then when you are doing maybe your last final practice tests or so, or one of your last ones, you can guess on that. Just kind of gauge how you might do, right? And then when you take the actual SAT, of course you want to answer all the questions, and then the ones you're not able to sure, try to narrow it down to one or two answers as much as possible, and then if you're left with two answers or so, you can guess, educated guess, right? Um, and then so again, going back, so again we have the diagnosis, so a time practice SAT, and then after that you want to calibrate your performance. So you review the practice SAT in detail, right? You want to understand why each answer choice is correct and incorrect for all those questions you got wrong, right? You want to know why the right answer is correct. If you can get there a couple different ways, even better. And you want to be able to explain and articulate why each of the answer choices, which are incorrect, are wrong, right? This is something that you want to spend time at. It's going to take some time, but it's worth it. It's better to, take two practice SATs and really analyze, why each answer is correct and why each answer is incorrect, than to just like blindly take, 15 or 20 SATs, right? It's, quality is more important than quantity, right? Yes, you want to have, uh, quality practice and have that and as much as possible, but don't sacrifice quality for quantity, right? You really want to go through and learn. That way, you're going to see from between each test, your scores are going to be going up, right? And then you want to have your focus effort, right? So even after the you review, say if you notice you got several questions wrong when it that involve fractions. So now you want to have a focus effort and really learn very well the ins and outs of fractions, right, at the level required for optimal SAT performance, right? So that's focus effort. Really spend time and focus on any areas you did not perform well in, right? And then we want to rinse and repeat, right? So we're gonna, go through that process again of taking a time practice test, then calibrating the performance and understanding why each question was incorrect, and why all the answers, all the correct answers were correct, and then really focusing on any areas where we can, right? And then just repeating that over and over again. It helps if you have a small group of study partners, right? If it's you and another person, you and two or three other people, right? I think four should be the max, right? To keep it really focused. I think two or three is ideal. Four would be the max. right? And so uh, I have some recommendations, right? For anyone that wants next steps, right? Like I mentioned, there's some scholarship help I can give you, go over some strategies, and then here too we have we want to understand what are the most common grammatical structures in the SAT, right? That's for the grammar portion of the reading section, right? We want to understand that. Um, that's kind of a nice return if you get those basics down. That could really improve your score by 20 points, 50 points, 100 points, or even more, right? It's that important. And you could take a course in which we go more into depth on these categories, on these different topics, which to help you out. And also, if you want, there's also the one-on-one coaching is also an option, right? One-on-one coaching is also an option. So feel free to reach out to HubbTutoring at gmail.com. HubbTutor HubbTutoring at gmail.com. Right, if you would like to further discuss any of these topics, you can contact us on that. Okay, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.